Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining our webinar. My name is Ram Upadhyay. I'm your host, and we'll get started now. Just as a brief introduction, so it is a 30-minute webinar. We will focus around how Caterpillar and HVI works together for the fleet industry, for construction and heavy machinery, how it helps overall in journey. So we would run a quick PowerPoint presentation. At the end of it, we will have option for question and answers, and we may run a live demonstration. So having said that, I'll get started from my side. So what we're going to be focusing today was specific to how Caterpillar machinery and the fleet management software, when you put them together, where and how it really helps. And there is a significant advantage when both of that data is put together, how it helps in terms of various use cases. So as we start around the heavy vehicle inspection software, it's a fleet management software. It does provide inspection, maintenance, PM scheduling, safety management, the fuel logging, and the project logbook. And each and every of that area has a connection when the OEM integration is connected to how it streamlines the data information for your teams and help in day-to-day planning and overall business value. In this webinar, we would specifically focus on the Caterpillar. HVI does connect to all GPS and telematics softwares. Verizon connects, Samsara, Geotab. It does connect to your accounting software, your fuel credit cards. And when you see all that information at a one place, it brings a significant benefit in terms of time saving, timely availability of information. Generally, in this example, we are talking about the Caterpillar machineries. They do have a computer within it, which continuously connected to various sensors, which is checking what's the fuel level, what's the status of engine, various components in it. And that information comes to us through the Caterpillar API system. So if you are a Caterpillar API user, that means it is possible that our HVI software can directly pull a lot of information. It frees you up from relying on the driver operator to keep reporting any issues or letting you know that what are the operating hours, idle hours, a lot more information. It automatically comes here. So when we deep dive on that further, what it really does is on the day-to-day operations, wherever those Caterpillar machineries are deployed in the field, a good quality, a lot of information is automatically coming to the HVI and your fleet management software. As that information automatically comes, where all of you drivers, operator, maintenance team members are part of the HVI system, they could use the mobile apps to stay connected to it. So how that generally involves that a lot more automation start working. If the alerts and notifications are coming, your team and the right people are informed without having to wait on team members. As we see it further, this is a one example case. In the routine part, how do you maintain the serviceability of your machinery? That means consistently across the board, each machinery is serviced on time. The maintenance team is informed if the spare parts are available or not. Store is informed timely. So when the asset is coming for the maintenance, it does not miss the service. Right? And that is where this integration becomes pretty handy, because as we start seeing it, the data start coming automatically. In this example, when we say the DTC codes within that Caterpillar machinery, how many hours it has been used in last 24 hours. So, cumulatively, it know all the engine running hours. It knows the overall idle hours, and if any DTC codes coming, which is diagnostic trouble codes directly originating from the machine and automatically coming to HVI. There is no human intervention needed, and that's a beautiful part, because the information is coming instantly. It is not withheld that a certain team member will come and report, and another team member would feed it into the system to create a work order, perhaps, to go or check the machinery. That is happening automatically. Now, here, once we move from that step to the next step, system automatically can create a maintenance work orders. Now, for the maintenance team, how this integration values is what service part will go to which machinery, which model is itself a great deal of knowledge. And that experience is not available with all of your team members. That means your maintenance department is bottlenecked and relying on very specific knowledge people. What would be the battery model for my this dozer or excavator? Not everybody would know that. So how would you streamline that? That's where this integration helps. For each and every spare service, a routine service, let's say 1,000 hour excavator service, for this specific model, what are the OEM service parts? It could be John Deere, it could be Caterpillar, Komatsu. In this example, we're talking about CAT specific. And that is where the system beautifully works. It pulls direct information from the OEM. It also identifies which are the serviceable parts for the service, whether you have it in stock or not, and a lot more automation after that. So step one, it automatically identifies as the machinery is connected to HVI, it automatically knows how many hours the engine has been running. So when would be the next 1,000 hour service? It's 100% guaranteed the system would know it, as every day it is checking how many hours the machine is running directly from machine. As it totals up to the another 1,000, it knows and it will automatically create a work order. As it creates a work order, it will drop notification to your maintenance team members and will start working on the step two. For that specific maintenance service, does your store has adequate parts? So step one, it identify all the parts required for the service from the OEM. If you do not have that in the inventory, it notifies you and it runs the workflow after that, which is it is go ahead and reserve that part within the HBI system. So when your maintenance tech is working, they know this is the part specifically reserved for this service. So makes it really easy for them to get going and do the real work, and staying not reliant on this information, as it is delivered automatically. And how we do that? We pull that information directly from OEM spare parts. We have the listing what spare part goes for what service, and automatically through the API integration with the CAT machine, system knows every day how many hours that engine is running, and it can plan the next service as recommended by the OEMs. Now, looking at that, let's say even the spare parts needed are not in the stock. If you have in stock, it can reserve for you. But if you don't, it helps you further down where it can place an automatic purchase order, or it can make a request within your existing uh, purchasing system if you're already using it. In this case, we could place an order with the Caterpillar spare parts APIs. So either through your dealership, you would receive the part. Now, what's the savings in it? Generally, when a work order is due for the service, your team member would manually evaluate, okay, do we have these parts or not? And if you don't, they would again put the effort to go ahead and order those parts manually. As you order them, you would wait them to assign when they are received. So, those are broken pieces or they are not connected together. Now, HVI puts all that information together. It makes really, really easy. I already know when my service is coming because every day I'm getting my engine hours, uses of machinery. It automatically creates the maintenance order. It let people know, hey, this service is coming. Who's working on that? If you do not have those spare parts, it will go ahead and place the order for you. So that's all those three steps working in automation, and it saves time for your team member to conduct a great quality maintenance rather than working on the information collection. And as we look down further, the system has its own purchasing module. In this case, it would go ahead and make a order at the cat dealership for those services specific OEM parts, and it would track to your work order. So it's very much known to your maintenance teams that we do not have these certain parts. For in this example, the air filter is already being ordered and it is on the way. So the service plan or the machinery coming to your workshop versus the parts, there's a good relation. You do not have to overpopulate the inventory or do not need to be worried that whether you would have part on time or not, because the process itself takes adequate time to order those spare parts. So that's a beautiful part because your people would be stress free. They wouldn't be in the situation where the asset is in the workshop and you do not have part, or there's a rush to delivery to receive those parts. And the worst part that the service gets overdue because it couldn't be done on the time. Now all of those things get sorted out and streamlined when the OEM, in this example, Caterpillar's machinery, is connected to our HVI fleet management software. You pretty much not gonna miss any service, not gonna delay it because there is enough process to ensure that. Now comes the core part of it, right? The impact of that is goes in three different dimensions. Number one, it changes the delay in time, so the asset health is maintained. The machinery which is functioning through this mean would have longevity of life because it is well maintained every time on time. So what it does, it's gonna be better in terms of fuel consumption as it is consistently maintained. The asset is maintained, there would be minimal breakdowns or safety related incidents. So certainly it impacts the overall well-being of company, the reputation, and as well as ensuring the team members. So this is a great way to ensure that as a business, you are able to get going while the systems are working in the background. It's freeing up a lot of your team members. You're not relying on your drivers to keep reporting. Or if any issues are coming, they are automatically coming. As they come to HVI, it does the further work, creating the orders, attaching the parts needed, creating the next service plans, all of that working in the coordination. Now, on the fuel part, as the fuel cost is not available with the OEMs, through the machine sensor, it is known how much gallon fuel you have in your tank, which is reported every day. But within HVI, it maintains the fuel bunkers The pricing is there, it is connected to fuel cards. So it can bring that financial KPI, how much fuel is spent on each asset on daily, weekly, monthly basis. It's very much available. So is the maintenance cost because all the work order spare part cost is within that order. So when we put it together, there is a composite operational KPI available, as it also knows who's the driver on that machinery and how many hours that machine work. You are able to run the project logbook autonomously, right? Through the location, it knows where that machinery or asset is running. Through the number of hours of uses, it already know what kind of work is done, so the project logbook filled automatically. The fuel costing compiled, as we know how much fuel is burned, and HVI has the pricing. And then if any DTC codes coming, they are promptly handled. All the spare parts can directly be ordered to the OEM, in this case the Caterpillar spare APIs, and that ensure that your team and you get way more availability of machinery for the business, and let the automation handle the complexity of information blocks. So this is an overall service solution where we kind of automating multiple parts in the journey and really evaluating the overall customer well-being. HVI is globally used. We have customer across the continent, in construction, earth moving, mining, waste management, forestry, wherever these heavy machinery is used, we're pretty good for our valuable customers. And with that, I would open it up for the question and answers. Now, to all the team members, I would recommend to use our HVI community. That's a pretty good place to engage. The community is available. You could ask questions. You could see a lot more valuable information. So we would highly suggest you and your team members to engage with the community. It's free, no login, anything needed. It's free to all the heavy machinery community. And I'm going to just do a quick dive on the product. The product is available through the Android, iPhone, and any browsers, desktop version. And it has multiple modules on it. On the left side menu, when we look on it, it has the inspection, maintenance, safety, purchasing, fuel, tire, tool management, project logbooks. And all of those modules work in a close integration to your ERP software, if you have accounting software integrated to GPS telematics, and the OEM service providers. In this example, this is one of the example where we could see how the system automatically works. So I would pull the example of Caterpillar for this example. So I would go in this another asset. Now this is a 2000 hour service plan for a motor grader. In the beginning of this journey starts where it is automatically getting information every day, how many hours this motor grader is running. As it reaches the 2000 hours, system automatically start working. And here we put a threshold that when it reaches 1800 hours, create a work order, start notifying the team members that in next 200 hours, this motor grader is coming for service. System automatically pulls what task gonna be performed as part of it. And it also has the relevant OEM parts. So it's very well known what will be done as part of that. And the assigned person or the set of team will start getting notifications. And then you could use the automation, you create the work order automatically. Should it place a purchase requisition if you have an existing purchasing software? Or let the HVI itself place the purchasing order if you do not have those spare parts. So it connects all the vendors who provide spare parts, including the OEMs. So having said that, system would create a maintenance work order, which will come up here. The details of that order will be available. And when we look on that, All of that components, which typically are part of the maintenance planning, they become available and easy to order and maintain. In this case, for this 3000 hours service plan, it has the details around the parts, it has the labor details, labor codes available, so the workshop get proper financial accounting, where and how they are putting the time against the assets. If the parts are ordered before the work order comes for next service, team can easily track that when and how many parts they have ordered and which are on the way before they can conduct this service. You could attach a lot of paperwork here, and the best part, this all could be done through the mobile apps. A lot of data reporting is available in system. So within the analytics, all of the information is available in Excel file format. System automatically sends those Excel PDF reports that you can keep for your filing purpose. And as well as a lot of information is available on the dashboards. So overall, it makes it pretty easy to have a holistic view of your overall fleet, heavy machinery, construction assets, and efficiently manage it. Right? Now, just as a summary, when it connects to the OEM, for example, in this case, Caterpillar, a lot of things happen automatically. Like here, one can have multiple project sites. As the machine moves, the GPS location of that machinery moves and it can auto align to the new project site. That means the people on that site can automatically start seeing the machinery for submitting an inspection. There is a complete inspection module available to submit daily vehicle inspection reports. Uh, Entire PDF documents comes and it tracks the entire life cycle. If any fault is detected from that inspection, when the work order is created, and it will track until the final corrective action is done on that issue and the machine is back to life. So for management perspective, there is a lot more oversight available. I can check this PDF documents, how it looks like. So I have availability. Okay, what kind of issue was logged? There is a options to attach multiple pictures, and that's a report. As we keep proceeding on this maintenance, this is the connected maintenance work order, which again detail who's working on it, what component and parts they are putting in it. Very detailed information to track that life cycle. And overall, we would see that having all that information together at one place, it really makes easy to track it. If any safety incident is logged, they are also connected at one place. There is an entire safety module that ensure the daily safety meetings recorded, safety observations recorded, and putting it all together, it overall streamlines your business operation in many perspectives, primarily for the safety, maintainability, cost, and the monthly accounting. With that, I would take a pause and would appreciate your time. Thank you so much, everybody. If you have any specific questions, please put it in the chat. We would be glad to answer. You could always reach us on the contact at the rate heavywehicleinspection.com or sign up for our free product. It is available through Android, iPhone, and portal. Super easy to set it up. Our team is available to let the beginning information know. I would be glad to talk further if you have a one-on-one demo need. A team member could conduct that. So with that, I would take a pause here, display our So here are the contact details. Feel free to reach us. Our team member would be available to get you experience how the integration could help you and your team members. We could certainly, if you already have a Caterpillar API account, it's just a matter of few hours for us to get us started. And very next day, you would have all that information coming on the dashboard. For the new customers who would like to experience the platform, it's a free setup available for you where all your assets will be loaded, a training would be given, and the integration would be connected as part of that. So I would encourage all of you to take advantage of that. Drop us an email, that would be the best mode to initiate a communication, and we can set up another dedicated demonstration for you to go over specific needs you may have. And with that, I would close the webinar. Thank you again for all of you, and have a wonderful rest of the day.